so let's get started. We're still going through these teams for the offseason, the free agency, which has been wild. There's been a lot of wild stuff happen this year, and still happening. We're still waiting on Lamar Jackson, the Aaron Rodgers thing to shake out before the draft. But we're going to talk about the Dolphins, right? The Dolphins have done a pretty, I'm a Dolphins fan. I haven't been paying as much attention to all this as I would like because I've been busy with other things. But I've been trying to keep an eye on the Dolphins. And it appears that the Dolphins have done their homework, and they've done a really good job in free agency so far this year.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. I thought between like you have the combination of the guys that they're bringing back and that they're going to be familiar with, the guys that they were able to give new deals to, and then obviously the trade for Jalen Ramsey. Like a lot of the things that they needed to take care of this offseason, they've been able to get it done.
Yeah. So the Jalen Ramsey thing was what a steal. Just what an absolute ridiculous move. It was brilliant. The Dolphins have certainly got better, and not only that, they've done a couple things. I mean, they've certainly gotten better. They were good last year. I believe they've gotten better. There's a lot of factors that depend on this. To his health is one of them. If Mike McDaniel's, the sophomore season's always tricky, but they should be moving upward. They got the Jalen Ramsey trade, which made them better. They are picking apart the AFC East. They're pulling players from the Jets, they pulled Jake Bailey from the Patriots, and they got a solid quarterback in their own right, Mike White, to back up to it. This might be the Dolphins division this year. It's got to go through Buffalo. I don't mean any disrespect to Bills Mafia, but everybody should be on notice. The Dolphins are going to be better than they were last year, and they were pretty damn good last year.
Yeah, the AFC East feels this year the way last year's AFC West felt in the offseason after everything happened. Devontae Adams to the Raiders, Russell Wilson to the Broncos. Like the AFC East next year, Aaron Rodgers is going to the Jets. So, like, this division is going to be crazy. And which is why, like, when you look at some of the people that the Dolphins have brought in, makes it so big. You bring in even more star power. Like you're keeping Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. It's not like those guys are going anywhere. But then we already talked about bringing in Jalen Ramsey. David Long is a name that Colts fans should know because he's been a linebacker with the Titans, one of the best linebackers since he's been drafted. So being able to bring him in, especially for 2 years, $11 million, that is an insane value for a player of his caliber. So I think everything that they've done is putting them in a position to, again, they're going to have to compete for their division. There are 3 teams in that division going to be very good. But they're a team that I would expect to be, at this point, competing for a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I agree without a doubt. And the other thing is they're skillfully bringing these players in, which tells me one of two things. Either the general manager is a genius and they're smooth talking, or, and this is probably more like it, the players know what's up, and they know this is a team on the brink of breaking out, and everybody wants to be here, which is certainly what appeared to be happening in Indianapolis a few years ago. It didn't quite materialize like we hoped, but it appears that's what's happening down here in Miami. So it should be a fun year for South Florida fans this year.
Yeah, and we're talking about the Dolphins, like it's Miami. Who wouldn't want to go make millions of dollars living in Miami, and no state income tax? So players want to come play in Florida anyways. Like,
that's a good point.
Now that they have a good young quarterback for years to come, I would expect the Dolphins to be a hot spot for people to come.
Yeah. Let's just hope that Tua can stay healthy.
That's the key.